Hey guys, welcome to the stream. So here we are to learn about the Web3 market. So the topic for today is from beer to bull, navigating the Web3 market. We have two speakers with us, great speakers, founders with us. One is Abhishek from Zoraworks, one is Apoor from Actual One. Without wasting any further time, let's start with a quick introduction of you guys. Over to you, Abhishek.
Hi guys, I'm Abhishek, or new star in the Web3 world, and I'm the co-founder of Zuraverse. So I take care of the daily operations as well as strategies, as and the vision and what things are we building. I have experience in the gaming, design, creative industries, as well as in IT sector. Uh, been part of four startups before doing Zuraverse, and yeah, we're really excited about the way forward, and I'm really bullish on the times to come. So yeah, let's take it forward. Amazing.
For sure. Okay, Apoor,
Yeah,
please.
okay. So firstly, thanks a lot, Lakshay, for inviting. So I am Apuro Vyas. I'm currently building Actual One protocol. We basically delve into the community aspect of Web3. So we help Web3 brands to build their communities and to scale their product in by suggesting them some strategies, specifically what's required for the market. And again, really happy to be in this space with Lakshay. And yeah, you can continue.
Great, you guys. It's same here, and for sure we will gonna deep dive into this whole like Web3 market, right? So for today we have one founder who is actually working and delivering things to the B2C market, right? Gamify. So Zoraworks come for a gamify thing, right? And we will definitely hear from Abhishek itself, right? And then we have Apoor who is making B2B success in, right? And helping companies survive by providing multiple services in the market, right? So let's start about understanding Web3 from B2B and B2C point of view, right? So we will start with Abhishek, right?
Sure, Lex. So what would you like to know about the B2B scene, like B2C
So
scene?
yeah, so B2C, like how we are seeing the market, Web3 market, and how we are focusing towards adaptability and how much time will it gonna take people to learn and get mainly like masses getting adapted towards the Web3.
Yeah, so what we have experienced in the last 1.5 to 2 years is that there's a huge issue of awareness, and that's what I see a lot of Web3 companies doing, is raising awareness, and that is a foremost challenge in the B2C space, because consumers are not at all aware about the fundamentals of Web3 or blockchain itself, and cryptocurrencies and NFTs have also gained a lot of notoriety. Like they've gained a notorious status, as you all know, due to so many reasons, so many news coming up, and so many scams coming up. So yeah, that is there. I believe that in the B2C space, we still need a lot of awareness and the right education, and on top of that, also in the user end, we need to simplify things. The user experience is again very important, and it needs to be simplified for onboarding the masses, for getting the billion users onto the Web3 space.
Right. I think that's a main thing to make people learn about Web3 first of all, as it's a totally new technology, right? Okay, so Purv, to you, tell me how you guys like B2B people know about Web3, right? So
Yeah.
now at this point, when people know about Web3, how you make your own USP as a marketing company that they should get you.
Right, specifically. Yeah, so among the niches, we need to find a niche which is specific to ours and what businesses require. So, for example, the main tipping point for us is UGC marketing, which is like user generated content, which again is very successful in the B2B market because it is influencer marketing that is targeting the users. So alternatively, what we are selling is we are selling a B2B service, but the obviously the end consumer has a same mentality that he mentioned. the end consumer will always look at the market sentiment rather than what's the technology behind it, right? So again, it's the perspective that we bring to the table is kind of Gen Z marketing and marketing focused towards the ages of 18 to 24, and that's a very big demographic in India as well. So to target that specific audience, again, the projects are mainly gaming and NFT based. So the marketing needs to be intuitive enough that appeals to that particular audience. Again, that is the service that we provide, which is very different from any other B2B marketing agency that exists out there.
Yeah, definitely. And I would like to add to this that the Web3 space definitely is one of the most innovative spaces. And people, who are always in the lookout of the new things and new trends, mostly those are the people who are already present in the Web3 space. So that's why, the new mediums of marketing, the new mediums of engagement are always welcome in the space. And that's why we see so many new channels, whether it be the sales funnel or the marketing funnel. So we are seeing so many new things, and that is very exciting, and also holds a great potential for the times to come. And especially, yeah, I would like to talk a bit about dApps as well, because I personally believe that quests is the future of engagement. So I believe that that having platforms where people can do quests, and they can gain rewards of some sort based on those quests, is definitely uh, the future that we're seeing. And it's a present that already expanding really quickly.
I mean, yeah, why not? Yeah, talking about dapps.co, yeah, we are doing a lot of stuff. We are a whole play store for not just dapps, for a smart dapps. And if I just give deep dive into dapps.co, this team will gonna add. So let's just stay to the market and bull and right? Okay,
Sure.
so my next question to you guys will be something like, what are the key trends during the evolution of Web3 technologies? Like, what's the current market trend going on right now? Like a lot of IBW is India happening, right? So let's talk about trends and what's really happening in the world, right? So let's understand that.
Mhm.
Okay. Let's start with the
Yeah.
Abhishek.
Sure. So one of the trends that I'm really fond of is account abstraction, and like I said, user experience has been one of the key elements that needed to be improved in the Web3 space. And the more and more we are, simplifying the account abstraction, and people do not need to connect to a lot of different sorts of wallet and then switch between a lot of applications. So it's making things a lot easier. One of our infrastructure partners, they have also developed face scan as well as fingerprint scans, based on which you can mint NFTs or transfer uh, tokenized assets from one wallet to another. You don't need any other sort of authentication. And the more we do it, the better we do it. It would be it would be better for this space. And so I'm really bullish for that. And moreover, I'm also feeling that ZK is also going to is also riding the trends, has been riding the trends lately. And yeah, there's much scope there as well. Zero knowledge is going to have very wide scale applications in governance, in a lot of public and private sectors, and I believe it's going to come up big.
Yeah, for sure. Like we at Apps.co are also using ZK knowledge for the developers kit that we are delivering. So yeah, ZK is for sure. Okay, so you also talked about account abstraction thing, right? So a lot of
Mhm.
people still don't know about account abstraction, right? So can you just explain it like a 5-year-old or a 10-year-old can explain what is account abstraction?
Yes, sure. So account abstraction is when you do not need to share a lot of, I would say, cryptocurrency based uh, information, or you do not need to have a crypto wallet, and you can directly connect to the apps without using a crypto wallet. Just for example, with your email. So, like we use other applications on Play Store or App Store, where we are just using our Google ID or Apple ID, and we're just signing in without the worry of having a cryptographic wallet address, or any other sort of any other details as such, which makes things more complex. So we are simplifying the process of login, which makes a couple of steps easier for the user. Having smart wallets is again a thing which does not need a user to have any kind of stake into the Web3 world. So they can a user can simply be a web user, any kind of web user having an email or just any other sort of authentication, like I said, face scan or fingerprint scan, and they can mint NFTs without having any issue or get token airdrops. And all this is being made possible through account abstraction.
Got it, got it, got it. So if I put it into simpler words, it would be something like uh, putting everything that we are currently dealing in Web3 into a backend. Like if your account, your MetaMask also gets created in the backend, your things gets backend, and you just interact with the UI and you just interact with the web. Apart from getting like what is this is Web2 and this is Web3. So we are clearing that line with account abstraction, right?
Yes, yes, definitely. So the aim is of all the dApps out there is to all the major dApps that would be consumer centric is to put the blockchain and the Web3 into the backend, like you said, Laksh, and so that the user just does not have to worry about all these things, and they can simply carry on with their proceedings like they usually do.
Yeah, like mainly focus on the user experience and not about developing and on what chain it is and what all things it's
Yeah,
exactly.
exactly.
So
So
we
in the coming
cannot let,
times,
yeah. Yep, yep, please, please.
yeah. So in the coming times, user would probably won't even know like which chain they're their which chain they're currently using the applications are built on, and probably a lot of things would be moving into the realm of stable coins. And so yeah, people would simply all the the swappings, the functions that a DEX performs, all these things would go into background, and this interoperability uh, of different tokens would everything would be happening in background. So let's say if I'm minting an NFT on Ethereum, and the application that I'm using is built on Solana, probably I wouldn't even be knowing all these things. I would just be paying through my credit card, and I'll be just using my email for the authentication, and I would still be able to access these applications.
Yeah, I mean, why should a person should worry about the AWS or cloud what's running behind a like a normal website? Like people in
Of
Web2
course.
itself doesn't know what's working behind the websites. They just need a good website to work on to have a good experience, right? Okay,
Yeah.
so coming to Apurvia, you have been silent for a long time now. So
No, no.
let's get your mic and mute. Yep. So Apurvia, let's talk about the market trends from your point of view as well.
Yeah, again, as he said, account abstraction is a big one. So let's say ARC 4337 is a very big one. The two market trends that I certainly observed when I was in token 2049 and in Spain as well were related to RWAs and digital identity. Now, digital identity is kind of similar, like DIDs is kind of similar to what he mentioned. But again, the objective of DIDs or digital identities is like you will own your identity. Right now, your identity is whatever Google says it is. So basically having a digital identity can improve your chances to be reputable in the space. And what happens
Mhm.
when you're reputable on the internet, you can maybe loans can be an option for you. So for example, a bank lends a loan to a person only the one who is reputable and has a good credit history. The similar thing is that is related to information. If you're relevant or if you are reputable on the internet, you can get some better offers from these DeFi lending protocols. So that's a very good use case of the DID space. The other good use case for businesses and for creators like NFTs is like, suppose Lakshay is creating a NFT collection, for example, and he wants the best. He wants his NFTs to be displayed everywhere. So he can randomly, distribute the NFTs or airdrop the NFTs to 50 MetaMask addresses or 50 random users, for example. But a better strategy would be to knowing which people are specifically active in the Web3 community and airdropping it specifically to them, or to knowing which people will actively show their NFTs maybe on their socials or somewhere else and to airdrop it to them. So that's where digital identities is a very big space that's evolving, which I saw in these conferences as well. The second space is RWAs. So real world assets and tokenization of assets has always been a very interesting thing since like 25 years. But since blockchain came, it was actually possible to, have a digital ownership of any asset. Now, when you have a digital ownership of any asset, the next big thing is like, can you transfer synthetic assets into it? So like maybe gold, maybe stocks, maybe all these assets. Again, if the regulation aspect can be solved over here, this can literally become a $1 trillion industry. Like we have seen RWAs in the field of as in real estate and stuff. But if it pivots down to all the tokenized assets of all these synthetic things like stocks, crypto, bonds, then it can be a very big game changer. So I think these are the two trends that I observed recently. But apart from that, yeah, there are many of such trends. Yeah.
Amazing. Yeah, that's that. Those are those two are really the game changing elements that we are going to see even furthermore. And I would just like to add, as Apurva has been mentioning RWA. So again, the as we have been talking about the trends. So the Bitcoin and Ethereum ETF, they are again uh, they are the game changers, and probably I think we are going to talk more about them. Yeah.
Yeah, for sure. I think if you talk about real world assets and ROW, they have all like got a lot of peak recently after the token 2049 for this year only. They have got I have seen a lot of people tweeting about it. I've seen a lot of people brainstorming how to make that a company on that particular solution. I have seen a lot of people. Okay, now let's get into a market dynamics type of conversation, and let's understand how has the market transitioned from bear to bull in the context of Web3? Like, not right now. We all know how the market is condition is right now, right? So, but in the past, right, you guys have been here for so many years, right? So, in the past, you must have seen a bull run, right? So, how has the market transitioned from bear to bull in the context of Web3 in the past area when it was a bull run?
Yeah.
Okay.
So yeah, well, to be honest, I actually entered the crypto scene a bit later because of several factors. I actually got Bitcoin's airdrop around 2016, and then something negative happened. Like someone just lost a lot of money that I had given him to invest, and then I just called quits for a couple of years, and then I got back in the when the second bull run was on setting. But yes, we have been on the lookout of the trends since then. And yeah, the trends are coming back. The trends that prevailed during the last bull run, they are appearing back, and a lot of things have come up lately, especially like I mentioned a bit earlier, the ETFs, the Bitcoin and the Ethereum ETFs that are coming, the stocks. And also the regulations are loosening up a bit. The US markets are stabilizing in terms of regulation. A lot of the Coinbase, there was this Coinbase case running, so they also scored well there. So a lot of positive news is around the corner, and this is the and the way Bitcoin performed recently. So all these are signs that a bull run is on the edge. That's what I believe. But of course, you never know what comes next, right? So yeah, but
Yeah.
these are the trends that happened last time. Like there was this thing around Ripple, and that was ongoing. And then when things sorted, some good news comes, and then it leads to a cascading effect of a series of other things, and it is coming back. NFTs have started performing as well, good as well. So I have been more of an NFT investor rather than a crypto investor or a token investor. And NFTs have been coming up as well. So a lot of NFTs have, the prices that had, dipped really bad, and now they're recovering. A lot of gaming tokens, gaming and metaverse tokens are also bouncing back, and all these are good signs. So I believe, like we can expect some good news. So,
Yep, like I have also seen a lot of those blue chip NFTs going down and those great people. talking about and having a whole series of Twitter spaces just to talk around the NFT, and then certainly closing down by giving just one to two statements. And if I talk about the last, from the last year itself, like people were those limited people who were in Web3, they were talking a lot about like doing marketing, doing taking Web2 marketing type of like metaverse marketing and all those stuff. But if you will see in this year itself, in the starting year of this year, a lot of things have collapsed or have come on a
Mhm.
survival mode time of steps, right? A lot of metaverse, a lot of things because they don't have a utility. Now people are working towards the adaptability and utility more to make this bull run happen, right? So that's
Yes,
my point of
definitely.
view.
Yeah,
Yeah.
again,
Okay.
adding to your
Yes.
which is completely true. And the I think the perspective of the global economy somehow affects the crypto market tremendously. So whether
It
it's
does.
like Nasdaq's going up, or like the crypto bull run, the highest was in 2021. Before that, biggest was in 2017. So at both of that times, the stock market was just baffling upsides. Again,
Yeah.
it depends on the sentiment, as to what's the current sentiment. We recently saw Bitcoin cross like boundaries of 37,000, and then Ethereum also go up. Again, a very strong sentiment was towards the VCs investing a lot during these big conferences, and investing quickly into projects. When you see the VCs are taking a lot of time to analyze the projects and then investing, that's a sign of a sluggish or a bear market. When you see the VCs are very actively investing, and they're obviously analyzing the project but doing it pretty quickly, that's when you try to understand the market is shifting towards a more bearish sentiment. So yeah, again, it's also linked to the global economic standards right now. So yeah, I mean, a bear market is almost ending right now for crypto, and we are waiting for the next bull market. It should be here soon, but no predictions
Yeah.
as to when it
Yeah,
will be.
no, yeah, but that's a very good point there, Apoor. That the investor sentiment is definitely you can check it from those trends, especially for the founders who are talking about fundraise to different investors. So yeah, you get to feel that vibe. So in the beer market, like I had this conversation with couple of good blockchain companies, and they were straight like totally negative about the metaverse and gaming space, and they straight up came with a reply that we are not at all investing in any metaverse project or GameFi projects at this point, because the way the market had slumped in the past, but now the interests are picking back again. Of course, AI had been riding the trend for 2023. So the combination, of course, is very unique as well. The combination of yeah, artificial intelligence into blockchain, or the use of blockchain into AI based products. So yeah, that is something that investors are really happy about right now, or they are really interested in right now. But of course, I saw a lot of infrastructure projects as well at this point getting a lot of attention. And now, as we talked about, so the attention is going to come back to gaming and GameFi or metaverse projects as well. But definitely, what I observed is that the trends for NFTs, like you said, now people are seeing a lot of utilities in NFTs. So I don't think that NFT world would ever be the same like it happened in the last bull run. So things are going to change more towards utility. Of course, the use case would be wider. There would be a wider adoption, but the hype wouldn't be the same as it used to be. Things would become more realistic, which is good for the long term.
Yeah, so adding to this point, I think Unify is a sector that will gonna lead the main adaptability. Because now when people switch from smartphone to laptops, right, mainly the student base or things like that, right, they are focused, they do things to enjoy stuff, right? Or to do
Mhm.
something that can make them like fun or something that they are good to know. Like if I talk
Mhm.
about having a Valorant in Web3, right? So the Valorant people will gonna come and explore that what is Valorant in Web3 and how it is different if we can add a utility of towards tokens, adding those coins, right, or something like that, right? So I think gamify sector will be the something that will gonna boom like 5x other than any other sector. Like DeFi and gamify will be on a same basis, and other all things will be at one places. Right? Gamify, DeFi will be the main reasons bringing adaptability and removing the gap of Web 2 and Web 3 and making game a game plus utilities with tokens or something like that, right? So it won't be Web 2 and Web 3 or something like that.
Totally
Okay.
agree. Totally agree on that.
Yeah, again,
Yeah.
completely. GameFi is something again which Rockstar is going to announce a very big game next month, GTA 6.
Yeah.
That
Fingers
will
crossed.
biggest game after like 10 years, so that's also expected to have some utility tokens in terms of NFTs. And again, since the previous bull market, as he said, the sentiment has completely shifted towards the NFTs. It's not a very negative sentiment, but it's like I should have at least a use case for my NFT.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Perfectly.
Yeah, exactly. Exactly. Okay. So coming to my next questions. Okay. So those will be something about volatility in the market. Okay. So how do you navigate the volatility inherent in the Web3 market, right? It's so many people who trades on one day basis, right? It's ups and downs. In the previous bull market, we saw ape coins going 0 to 50, right? So giving us 50x. People were crazy on ape coins and other coins as well, right? So we're talking about this volatility in the Web3 market. So I want to know your views as well on this.
Well, based on my trading experience, I would say one thing that is very important for anyone to invest into any coin is to study about it. That's I think that's the basic that should be there. That you should know what you're investing into rather than investing into just hype. So, like a lot of people invested in in the Pepe coin, where the founders blew out, and like one of the founders bailed out some time back. Like there have been like numerous such cases where things like these happen. So yeah, I don't recommend usually to people to invest into a lot of shit coins. But rather we should build, I mean, I would love to have an ecosystem where uh, tokens who have utility and they are being promoted and they are being traded more for the utility that they provide. So that would create a very healthy ecosystem, and it would make the market less volatile. Otherwise, if one tweet can affect the token prices so much, then the problem is going to persist in the market in that case. So yeah, having tokens with a utility is something that I would recommend to invest into. But their
Yeah,
traders are always going to go up for the big profits, like 4,000% or 5,000%. So yeah, that is going to happen. So when you're taking a big risk, then when you're going for big gains, then there has to be a big risk as well. So it comes with it comes with that baggage always.
Yeah, I
yeah. I
think.
mean, we don't want our coins to just go pump because Elon Musk has replaced his Twitter icon with a with a dog, right? Named as Dogecoin. So we don't want that market to come up according to Elon Musk or any other person for sure, right? Okay, Apur, your turn, please.
Yeah. So again, continuing with his point, first step is obviously research. So researching about the coin, knowing which coin are you investing in. And since I'm into the crypto stage very young, I mean, I'm just here since like 15 months, but a basic investing strategy which I followed. I mean, I'm not an investor to be honest, but I know a very basic strategy is like diversifying a portfolio. So first thing
Mhm.
is obviously research, which he mentioned. The second thing would be diversifying your portfolio, but also knowing your goals. So if it's like a short term goal and a long term goal, so you need to have a very clear goal. So if it's like a short term goal, then your strategies would be completely different. If it's like a long term goal, your strategies would be completely different. I personally recommend people to go for long terms, and hence the strategy which I will recommend is like try to invest in coins which have a lot of utility right now in the market, not based on the market share, but actually researching on them, and try to diversify it a lot. So like you're investing in Ethereum, Bitcoin, also you're investing in some other coins like altcoins. But again, after all this is done, you still invest into Web3 and crypto. So like maybe NFTs, maybe a bit of DeFi if you're good at it. So try to diversify your portfolio as much as possible, and try to keep a vision for the longer term compared to a shorter term. So yeah, that's my advice.
That's
Right.
a very good point, and
Yeah.
I would love to add a bit to it. We are based on my and my friends' personal experience. As of course, having a diverse portfolio is definitely very good for good returns. And what's very important, what a lot of people they fail to do, I personally struggled with that myself a lot, is that making the exit on the right time. Because that is where, like, you invest in something and you're holding it to have it, have giving a higher return, and that it just starts to drop, or it just, slumps at one point. So it's very important to, like Apuru said, to have a, if you're taking something for short term, like if you're trading in altcoins, then you should definitely have a exit strategy at what point or what time is good for an exit. Because the market is going to, have its crests and trough, definitely going to have it at some point. So yeah, you need to decide on that. Otherwise, of course, if it's a long term strategy, then it's always good to invest in something like Bitcoin or Ethereum, which, that the value is there and the value is going to persist. But yes, of course, it's up to the traders to do their research and diversify the portfolio.
Yep. Diversification is must needed. Okay, so now getting towards the investment strategies or things like that, right? Okay, so my question next would be like risk management. Okay, so what risk management strategies do you recommend for investors in this space, right? If someone is new, right? So we will talk about risk management, right? So I would like to know how risk management can be distributed. Like you already told, like having a diversified portfolio, right? That can be something, but I want to know more pointers so that we can add more value here towards our audience who are listening to us, right? That what can be the best strategies towards risk management in the crypto space.
Sure. So, yeah, one thing that I observed for is, like we have been discussing, is having the right education. So you should listen to some good people, some good podcasts out there, a lot of good YouTube channels out there. For example, like Coin Bureau is very good. A lot of I see a lot of people following it. So I'm not deep into trading, but yeah, I know, like, there are some good channels like Coin Bureau, and there are a couple of more that you can easily find out when you research, but who give sort of, like, impartial advice. And they do not like hype any particular token, and rather it's more like a research study about some particular token. So that is something that people should follow. That is the first step towards risk management, is to know, like, where you're putting your money in, right? And the second thing, in my opinion, would be to use a good platform as well. So, for example, like, if you're using a platform which does not have the right liquidity, or so you might see a lot of fluctuation there in the prices, and it's going to affect your trade as well. Of course, these platforms with low liquidity offer sometimes, like, high returns, and a lot of people invest in those hopes. But yeah, then that is something you must be careful about. A lot of scams were happening as well in last bull run, and they have reduced a bit, I believe. But that is again something you need to be cautious about. So choosing a good platform like Binance, if in India it's still working, like Binance works. So Binance is a good option to choose from. And uh, be careful if you're starting with trade, then be careful with leverage trading, because leverage is something that a lot of people go in to make in quick money or big money. But then it's so much risky at the same time, right? You can lose all your money, and if you keep on adding liquidity to it and the market is going down, then all your liquidity is going to dissolve. That happened with one of my co-founders in the last bull run. So he lost over I think 30 to 40,000 dollars. That was for from his savings. And of course, a lot of people have lost millions of dollars. But yeah, that was the amount he had made from trading. And yeah, I think he lost close to 100k dollars. And it can happen, right? So yeah, you got to be trading careful when you're doing the leverage trading. Yeah, so yeah, that would be the advice from my side, and over to Apur.
Yeah, I think he covered all the points. One point would be, again, if you're trusting, I mean, Binance is a very big centralized exchange, but yeah, so I mean, if possible, if you're educated, well educated about it, always try to move your assets to a cold wallet. Other than that, I mean, you can use trustable exchanges like Binance and Coinbase as well. Yeah, again, the next step would be avoiding excessive leverage as well. So apart from that, all the points he mentioned were kind of everything is that's required to uh, analyze the risk in this market, or for an initial stage investor.
Yeah, that's
Yeah,
that's a
for
very
sure. And
good
you talked
point.
about, yeah, cold wallets. So I think people do use two wallets, one for like trading day to day. If they are a day-to-day trader, right? So one wallet for trading with a small amount, and then they keep their whole amount in some other wallet, so keeping it a lot more secure, right? So
And
yeah,
this
people
happens a
does
lot
that.
in the NFT world, because so yeah, because we are talking about trading, so I should add this, that a lot of NFT, there are, I think there are more NFT scams compared to a lot of crypto scams. Of course, both of them are there, but then like it's easier to get NFTs out of your wallet. And like some people from our community recently lost their NFTs, like their premium NFTs, into a scam, and it has still been going on since some time. So it's always better to move your assets into some, even if it's not a cold wallet, then use a different trading wallet and use a different storage wallet where you keep your assets.
Yep, it does happen. And I remember a short story, right, where in recent news, not a story, but a news that where the scammers first used to focus on the big wallets that have a big amount, right? But eventually those scammers got shifted into multiple, like they increase their number from 10 hacking 10 wallets to 100 wallets, but with a small amounts as well, because the market got down, people don't have money and those things in your wallet, so they just, the scammers also like increase the size of hacking the wallets and not just focusing on the limited wallets with more amount as well. So yeah, you need to keep other wallet for your savings for sure.
Yeah, these scammers are getting smarter day by day. The bots that they're using are more advanced, and they would try to take access to your credentials in some way, and then in the other way they would use it. They would prompt you to sign in into any fishy site, or yeah, you can, like there are a number of ways people can be victimized. So it's always better to have to be educated and be cautious. So whenever you are signing a transaction from your wallet, you need to be cautious there, like what are we
Also, one
signing.
very good advice, guys: don't run for random airdrops. Majority of
Yeah,
them are like scams when you connect your wallet to them, and that's why you should make a very separate wallet if you want to run behind these airdrops and stuff like that. Don't use the same trading account or trading wallet that you are using for these airdrops.
100%.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's like phishing websites and airdrops are the biggest things how scammers are working right now. Okay, so now let's walk towards the investment opportunities. We talked about the risk. We talked about how we should survive in the market and how should we get into the market, right? So now let's talk about where should we get, like what's the best investment opportunity. So what my question would be something like, what are the most promising investment opportunities in the current Web3 landscape?
Okay, so I might sound a bit biased, but yes, I'm up for I'm really looking forward to the gaming projects, the GameFi and the metaverse projects, because the market has dipped, and some of the good projects are going to bounce back. So, like we discussed in this call some couple of minutes ago, that when the market starts trending, when the market starts, the bull run starts happening, then a lot of coins gain traction, and at that time a lot of good gaming and metaverse projects are going to gain traction as well. Because in the last bull run we just saw the tip of the iceberg. The games were very mature, the communities are very new, but the market is going to mature, the market is maturing. And in this time and this time we are expecting to see a lot of good games. So for I'll just give an example, it's not an investment advice. So for example, Proof of Play is a company. They recently raised $33 million in the seed round, and they're led by a like highly experienced team of founders who have been deep into the gaming sector. They are building this game called Pirate Nation. And then I came across a project, which I wouldn't name at this point, but then they are building yoga resorts and sort of a lifestyle sort of experience through NFTs. So those kind of things are really exciting that is happening. So like Apurus mentioned some time back, RWA, so real world tokenization. So things, linking real world utilities with tokens is happening. So I am a part of this community called Zoworld. And Zoworld is, the community formed by the founders of Zostel, and they are building real world Web3 houses which are token gated, and the people having these NFTs, they get access to these spaces which host a lot of events. Similar things are happening in many places, like Ape Fest happened recently in Hong Kong and so many parts of the world. So yeah, a lot of utilities are coming up. So I would say that investing in the right utility that resonates with you would be a worthwhile investment.
Yeah, exactly. I completely agree with his point. And to look at the investment opportunities, invest in the projects that you believe will succeed. It's simple as that. So if it's like a early stage initial user, he will obviously look at the end products like gaming or NFT based, for example. If it's a VC analyst, he has a job to look at various different projects. So whether it's like Web3 infra, Web3 custody, maybe data indexers as well. There are a lot of coming up over there. Then again, in custody, we have specifically very good products like Fireworks, and then again, development has a lot of tooling projects, so like Foundry, Hard Hat. So there are a lot of projects that build crypto and are useful for the infra part of it, and then the end user part of it. The end user should, again, the perspectives are very different for the investor himself. So again, my perspective on investing in Web3 would be, invest in the projects that you truly believe can work as an individual, and you can just understand which project works by actually using the project on a day-to-day basis. So on that scenario, I mean, yeah, that's how I'll navigate the investment opportunities.
Yeah, that's a great advice. I would love to add one more point is, uh, yeah, so the point would be innovation, because Web3 is a very innovative space. So when you're coming across and you see that some product is bringing a lot of innovation, then that definitely would be having chances of giving a good return. Given that the team is again something that we should have a look at when we are investing in the project, like what kind of team is building it, and like how they have been performing, and having a brief go through a research on their socials and their website, and these things would give a better idea of whether if it's a worthwhile investment.
For sure, for sure. Okay, so now we are talking about investing in projects and by reading those projects or using those projects, right? So now I want to know like how to do you identify and evaluate potential projects for investment? Like how to know by just using it, can you imagine that from a trading point of view that this coin will gonna pump later, right? And how much later? So now you need to know and you need to identify the evaluate potential of that project, right? So how you will gonna do that now?
Yeah, so I think we came across things recently that a lot of analysts, these crypto analysts, they have been barred because they have been promoting or hyping some particular coins, right? So that is something that happens a lot in this space. But that is something that is inevitable, that we must do research before investing, and to find a good investment opportunity. One very good idea is to be part of some alpha communities. So if you are in a good project, if you're part of a good project who are actively investing in crypto projects, then you get to learn from these people, that what kind of projects they are investing into, and what is the objective of their investment, on what basis they're investing on. So that gives you some fair leverage of some fair leverage in terms of what projects you can pick to invest. and definitely never go for these Telegram or WhatsApp groups that randomly add you into their channel. And I see that happening a lot. I'm sure that everyone faces that some or the other time, that people try to add you in some random groups, and then they say that they're going to make you a lot of money. So most of these are scams. So don't go for that.
Also, one
Go for
popular scam, just adding to
yeah.
this, sorry for the
Please, please,
interruption.
yeah.
One very popular scam with this space is very big influencers promoting projects. So whether it's like very big YouTubers and stuff like that, again, that's something which you should evaluate yourself before diving into or trusting any random YouTuber. Because again, these crypto companies and crypto is like a win-lose game at the end. These Telegram groups, if someone is making a profit, at the same time someone is also losing that bit of money. So again, you need to analyze the project yourself before blindly trusting any of these groups or any of these popular YouTubers.
Definitely. And I think India has been um, a lot of a lot of traction has come in the Web3 space from India. And a lot of the traction has come from the scams as well. Because and especially in the smaller cities, the tier 2 and tier 3 cities, there have been so many scams. Because a lot of these projects come in, and the early adopters, they get some money out of it, they become rich, and eventually it turns out to be a scam. So unless you review their tokenomics, unless you review their vesting schedules, and how the token, the utility, is there a utility to a token, or how the token is going to turn out in the future, how they're paying their users, what kind of airdrops they're giving. So you can easily assess, like it will take some time, maybe it will take you half an hour or 1 hour, but at least your money would be safe once you analyze that project.
I mean, yeah. Once I got into these communities, now I remember I changed my settings of Telegram from only contacts to add me in groups. It was like within 30 days I changed that when I got into communities. I got to see a lot of people adding me one or in like Nigerian communities, and there are a lot of communities people add you and then they text you and raise personal messages. You just can't stop. They just keep on coming. And now on the long term, you get to know your Telegram is more simplified. You need to simplify your Telegram into groups, into your personal messages and everything if you want to interact with those communities, those good communities, and for personal use as well, right? So now, if you are a good person into Web3 using Telegram, your Telegram will be the most aligned and most best thing anyone can see. Right? So yeah, okay. So coming to my next questions, it will be something like let me see. Okay. So now the question should be something like regulatory. India, 30% tax and all those stuffs, right? So let's get into regulatory stuff like how a particular trader or a person can make profits by not using any third party or any wrong things, right? Like he needs to pay 30% tax, right? So now my
Mhm.
question would be like, what are the key regulatory challenges facing the Web3 market and how can they be addressed?
Sure. So regulations, in my opinion, definitely are a challenge, especially if we are from India. So um, it's just like you have to think it as income tax, that people who are paying paying this 30% of tax slab. Sorry for that. So people who are in this 30% tax slab, so that's what a crypto trader is. So you have to add and calculate those margins um, whenever you're trading. So it's like whenever you are trading, you should be mindful of the returns that you're going to make out of it. And so you must keep in mind that so much so of your profits are going towards tax. So you need to keep that margin simply. And there are a lot of platforms now. For example, my friend Puneet, they run a firm called Coinex, and it's a crypto taxation firm. They're also linked up with CoinDCX. And so yeah, using good exchanges, like I said, is a good thing. First of all, like coin in India, so CoinDCX is doing good. And then there is of course Binance is there. Couple more would be there, but definitely use a reputed platform. And yeah, you have tools now which can figure out what your taxation would be. And if we talk about if the regulations are right or wrong, so of course some sort of governments would be imposing some sort of regulations to protect themselves from any like laundering or any sort of such frauds. But yes, the regulations need to be fair, definitely. So if a person is making small trades, then I personally believe that he shouldn't be charged the same amount as a person who is making a trades of let's say hundreds of thousands of dollars. So that is something that is definitely unfair. But I believe at the same time it would happen with the right education. So people like you and me, we can spread the right education, we can spread this awareness, and we should also spread this awareness to the right people. People who are people who are the lawmakers, as well as people who have some say in the governance. And definitely things are going to take up a good shape. That's what I believe in.
Yep, over to you, Apur.
Yeah, I think that's a very interesting perspective, and specifically if we look into that particularly, like what about the taxes. So first things first, that the public needs to understand is like regulations are in place both for the government and for you. So it's like a double-edged sword. It's also going to make crypto a bit centralized, but it's also going to save a lot of scams. So people need to understand that very fairly, that there are benefits and there are downsides and there are benefits for it. But at the same time, if you want to be legally very um, legally very safe, you can use Indian exchanges. Some of them are really, really good. CoinSwitch Kuber is something which I have used in the past as well. But then Indian exchanges can be used. Again, there are some tools that can identify what kind of returns you need to file in. And again, the government needs to give a bit more clarity on the regulations, because right now I feel RBI, the guidelines that it has issued for crypto were like changing constantly. So initially it was something else, then it's something else. Then because of these constant changes, people are not clear on what is the exact regulation that's RBI, that RBI is issuing. So specifically, if the government can provide a bit of clarity on that, after which the investment strategies can be clearly evaluated as to what needs to be done.
That's a very
Yep,
good point.
I agree. I agree totally. And what was the
And
name for that, Nistar? I want to know the name for a
Yeah.
dog, of a dog.
oh, oh
Yeah.
yeah, yeah. She's a CEO. Actually, her name is Leila, and she's
Oh.
a chief entertainment officer. Actually,
Yeah, definitely she is.
she's like
Okay.
a AI-driven reminder that you need to get up from the desk sometimes.
For sure, we
Yeah.
won't let you like stay here for a long now. Okay, so all
No,
those people
not.
who are listening to us right now, for sure, please drop your question for the Q&A round as well. We will surely gonna go for the Q&A round within after some questions as well. Okay, so moving to our next question, right? So how do regulatory developments impact investment decisions in the F3 space? So these regulations does also impact trader, right? So I think it does. But what all in sense it does, I want to know from you guys.
Well, in the last, after after the regulations were put in place, especially the taxation based regulations, we saw a lot of crypto investors move out of India, which is a very sad news. A lot of money that was coming into the country is now coming into other countries where they are now keeping the accounts. But at the same time, like Apurva mentioned some time back, that it's necessary for it's like a double-edged sword. So it's necessary as well, it's a necessary evil, keeping these regulations. Although the degens of the crypto world, they do not believe in such things as taxes, of course. But yeah, governments need to run themselves, governments need to collect money from the citizens for their things. So the way it has impacted, it has definitely impacted a lot of I would say industries as well. I would say the industrial investors, as well as the general traders, the day traders as well. probably the day traders not so much as the big investors, but yes, the big investments have definitely seen a lot of people opening up their businesses in Dubai or in Singapore or in Cayman Island, or whatever country it is, where the regulations are lesser strict. But at the same time, we have also seen more awareness into the government sector around crypto. As we heard that government itself have launched the digital rupee, they're launching CBDC, so they're well aware about blockchain and what its use case could be. Vaccines during the COVID time were the vaccine was vaccine distribution system, it was implemented on top of blockchain itself back in 2020 itself. So yes, but the thing with crypto regulations, I hope that it's going to come up soon in this bull run. I believe that there would be more push from the crypto bros towards like making the norms more fair. And yeah, that's what I believe, and we can just be part of the movement, that's all.
Paul, you are on mute.
Yeah, sorry for that. I mean, I believe I completely agree with his points, and I think he has covered the whole perspective. The money, there is no clarity. And crypto degens don't believe in taxes, so we need to understand where the boundaries need to be driven, and that can be done if there is a clarity on the aspect of which I said earlier. After which, then the laws can be made, and again, it will have some downsides, it will have some upsides. It's for us to decide as to what we want to do. So we should have that autonomy as well. So yeah, I mean that's pretty much he answered the question pretty well. So yeah.
Yep, I agree totally. From my side as well, I don't have anything to add. So, okay, so coming to the end of this stream finally, it was great to have a good discussion. This was a very good discussion, and I hope our audience will also gonna like this discussion. And let's come to the conclusion thoughts. And what advice do you have for the individuals navigating the Web3 market, POV to the traders' point of view, right? So I wanna you guys need to give advice now. So be the advisor.
Okay, so my only advice would be to be well aware of what you're doing. Keep your eyes and your ears open. Talk to people in the community, but yeah, follow your finally follow your own advice. Otherwise, it would be a disappointment. It can be a disappointment for you, as well as it can lead to some bad relations. So in the end, whatever financial decisions you're making, keep it your own final call. And yeah, do invest in Bitcoin because like a lot of altcoins and a lot of meme coins look very green and look very promising, but Bitcoin is the basis for all this system that we are talking about. And yeah, I believe that whoever holds Bitcoin is going to be rich in the future. So yeah, if you're a trader, you should definitely trade, but yeah, do invest some share definitely into Bitcoin, and probably in Ethereum as well.
Yeah.
Over to
Sure.
you, Abdul.
Abur, what will be your advice?
Yeah, my advice would be specifically there are a lot of youngsters listening to this stream, and a lot of young people who don't have a lot of money to invest. So they want to play it safe as well, but again, expecting pretty high returns at the same time. So my advice to them specifically, to college going students and like school students like me, would be again to analyze the market and play it safe for a while with the money you have. If you have some money which is which you are ready to gamble, understand how these things works, understand how arbitraging works, understand how holding and HODL works, understand how day trading works. And once you have a hold of it, only then dive into the space of day to day trading. Otherwise, DeFi trading, day to day trading is a very complex subject, and it needs a lot of education to perfect. So maybe enroll in a course, understand how it's been doing and how it's done. And after a while, which you when you have a lot of money, try to get into that space. But again, keep some money. Diversifying a portfolio is again the best advice that's out there for any type of investment. So keep your portfolios diversified, try to play it safe when you don't have a lot of money, And if you are going to play it in the gambling space and run behind the big charts, uh, understand that you have the right knowledge and you have the right training for it.
Yep, so that means that peep coin and ape coins are not only the coins, search for the real coins. Okay,
Yeah,
so coming to the conclusion part, thank you so much, Nustar, and thank you so much, Apur, for joining in. This was a great discussion with you guys, and I enjoyed it. I hope our audience enjoyed it, and we're gonna soon meet soon, and we also have a hackathon with Zuravers as well planned for next week. So looking forward to that as well. Thank you so much once again, guys, for joining in. That was a great discussion. I'm looking forward to towards this Master MA series a lot more. Thank you so much, guys, for joining.
thank you so much, Lakshya.
Thank
Thank you so
you.
much.
Thank you very much, Apur, Laksh. It was a great discussion. Yeah, I
Thank
really
you.
enjoyed it.
Really enjoyed it. Thanks a lot.
Thank you so much, guys.
Thanks, yes.
So guys, that was our Master MA with Apurv and Abhishek, and I hope you guys enjoyed it. Make sure you join our dApps community. The link is in the description. Okay, so make sure you guys join in. So we are launching a lot of new stuffs right now, and we are the main thing for your smart dApps, right? So thanks for joining in. Thanks for listening. Is this was Lakshay Gupta, your host for today. Thank you so much.